they captured just because they were Africans, the color of their skin. So the U.S. Supreme Court on this day issued a ruling that freed 35 survivors of a mutiny aboard the Spanish slave ship. The ship was called Amistad. So the Amistad carried captured Africans who had been enslaved and were being shipped to Cuba, which was then colonized by Spain. On July 2nd, 1839, yeah, of course, that was before that ruling of March 9, during their journey to Cuba, the enslaved Africans, led by a man named Sembepie, revolted at sea and they killed their captors, including the captain and the and the cooks of the Amistad. They took control of the ship in the process. Now, a few weeks later, the U.S. Navy seized the ship and imprisoned the surviving Africans. Yeah, theirs was the sin. Theirs was illegal, but the capturing was not. The revolt was illegal. Anyway, the Spanish embassy claimed ownership of the Africans. How do you own a people? How do you just own a person? What a time it was. Anyway, the Spanish embassy claimed ownership of the Africans and demanded that they were sent on to Cuba. Now, this led to a trial in Connecticut to decide the fate of the surviving Africans from the kidnapping, and they had the right to escape their captors in any way that they could. But guess what? Things turned in their favor. The Africans were freed, and they were sent back to Africa. In fact, they were sent particularly to Sierra Leone in January 1842, and that would be the start of deportation of Africans. That's just an interesting fact on this. But something very remarkable happened on this day as well in South Africa. Robert McBride, yeah, he was a high-time, all-flying, all-time high-ranking official in the South African Department of Foreign Affairs. He was arrested by the Mozambican police in Western Garcia. Now, why was he arrested? It was alleged that McBride was on a fact-finding mission regarding allegations of gun smuggling from Mozambique into South Africa. So his arrest fueled suspicions that were held by several South African political parties regarding his involvement in gun running. They called for a commission of inquiry to investigate allegations of McBride's complicity in the illegal arms deal. Now, this was what happened. Theories on what he was doing in Mozambique varied greatly. Some people suggested that he was buying arms for the East Timorese guerrilla movement. If you remember the guerrilla crisis in that part of Africa. Well, some also believed he might have been smuggling arms to former ANC guerrillas that were involved in crime during the period. Anyway, he was arrested on this day, and the delegation pledged South Africa's cooperation in dealing with the case. It was also requested that the case be handled by some people with a higher level of speed. The delegation reported to President Nelson Mandela and his deputy Thabo Mbeki at the time, and they found him not guilty. 6:28 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Bottom of the hour, we'll be doing Spoken at Sunset, which will be starting in just a bit. But before then, here is one of the songs I've been playing on in my head for a minute today. Wait, where is it? It has come and go and lost. Okay, I'm gonna find it again. It has been in my head like ringing somehow, and I'm like, no, I have to look for the song and play it. Here we go. Mafiki Zolo.